Safety. It's a big thing in the workshop. If you don't feel safe doing something, or you just don't feel comfortable, don't do it. You're the only person who can keep you safe. And if you don't do it, no one else can.
Okay, here we go then. Well, hi everyone. Welcome back to my shop here. 2015, January 2015. It's start of a new year, and as a special treat, start of a new year, I want to show you a new tool that I discovered on the internet when I was browsing around, and I came across a site by Reed Gray. Reed Gray is aka RoboHippy. I expect a lot of you know him. He's a bowl turner, but there was two things really impressed me on his videos: was his use of the scraper and how proficient he is, and this super little tool. What's it for? Well, I'm going to tell you. This is a bowl that has been around drying in the shop since 2007. 2015 now, that makes it pretty old. But anyway, it's a bit messed up. It has a big old indent in it here, big old inclusion, a branch of a tree or something, so it's probably not going to be any good for anything, but it's certainly good for what I'm going to show you. Whenever we're making bowls, one of the things that we all have a little bit of difficulty is knowing is when this is enclosed in a chuck around like this on the lathe, and it's hidden and we're turning here, how thick is the bottom? But there's all kinds of ideas and tools out there, but this one by RoboHippy, I think, is definitely the best price one and definitely very easy to use. So I'm going to show you how you use it. When you turn your tenon here for your chuck, you always have to turn a tenon so you have a nice face for the jaws to go against, this face here. See if we can get that to focus a little bit. This face here is where the front of the jaws, the front face of the jaws go. So what is important for you to know is, what is the relationship between that face, that's going to be the face of your jaws, and the bottom of your bowl down here? Well, in this case, I've recessed this a little bit. It's concave, and it is just about the same as this face here. Now, it doesn't have to be the same, just as long as you know where it is in relation to where the jaws are, because it's where the jaws are is what you're going to really know. So what this little stick is the distance from the back of your lathe, from this face here, or this face down here, to the face of your jaws. It's flush with the face of these jaws. Okay? So you know that the length of that is the same as the distance from the base of your chuck to your jaws. Okay? Now I tend to use it down below here for whatever diameter bowl I'm turning. There it is. So how do you use it? Okay, so we know what the relationship is here. When we mount this in the chuck, so if we know what the relationship on the back is, and in this case it's pretty well the same as the face of the jaws, if we know where the face of the jaws are, we can figure out where the bottom of the chuck is. So how does RoboHippy do it? Well, what he does, I'm going to tip down the camera a little bit here. Okay, he takes a ruler, scale, and he measures from the face, this face here, see it better there. From there out to here, it's in my case here, it's 7 3/4 inches. Now I haven't turned the face of this. It's not too bad. It's a little bit wobbly, about 1/8 of an inch maybe, could be out. But you normally do this after you've face this across here. You measure out to it, 7 3/4 inches. you place the little cheetah stick on there and you hold them together. You put this into the center. You look down across the face of your bowl, and the difference between the end of that stick and where your bowl is, in this case it's about it's about ½ an inch. It's telling me that the face of those jaws is ½ an inch from that face there. So we know where the bottom is in relation to the face of the jaws. ½ an inch. Right now it's ½ an inch. Well, being lazy, I went and took that same idea and I made this little gizmo here. Now this has a cheetah stick that is the same length as the one to the face of the jaws. Alright? It's the same. And it has a groove in it that another stick, not the rule, another stick like this will slide in. Okay, so the only dimension that's important is from there to there, that's to the face of the jaws. This slides through there. I took a little block and I cut these little notch out of here. Nothing fancy, guys. This little block fits in there, right? There. Now the slider stick goes through there. The little block goes there. Okay. And we put an elastic band. Whoops. Dropped the elastic band down in the shaving. Now the elastic band goes over it and holds that little block down snug against my slider stick. So I can slide this through it now and it stops wherever I leave it. So I have the cheetah stick. I set the outside face of the cheetah stick here flush with the edge of the bowl, right? Flush with the edge of the bowl. I usually go down the bottom. I have to speak to my cameraman after. There. I set it flush with the bottom. And now I don't have to hold anything together. It's self-contained. It's flush with the bottom on the outside edge here. I just shove it in there. I look down over the edge again. If I really have to, I could put something like a straight edge in there to see how much there is between across the edge here and this little inside face of the cheetah stick. So I see straight away I have ½ an inch, good ½ an inch of material from the face of the jaws to the bottom of the bowl. Now in my case here, I made the curve on the bottom just about level with the tenon where the face of the jaws are going to come. And so I can say that the bottom of my bowl right now is ½ an inch thick. Okay, so Reed Gray, his cheetah stick, fantastic idea, super idea. A little bit of a mod to use his idea and make it adjustable and just stops wherever you leave it. You can put it down and you don't have to reset it always. So I wanted to pass that on to you. Now you smart guys out there are already saying, I can hear you now. You're saying, what about if it's a natural edge bowl and you can't look down over the rim to get that measurement? Well, Reed has the answer. And what you do is you take some kind of straight edge. I'm going to turn the camera down a little bit again now so you can see this. Some kind of straight edge. It can be anything. It could be your scale laying across the bed of the lathe. It could be a block of plywood like this, square edge. Something's got that you can set so it's reasonably square. Okay. Now I've set this back about 2 inches away from this face. Okay, and what I'm going to do is take my little unit. If I was using Reed's cheetah stick, I would measure from the face of my lathe out to a line in line with this piece of plywood here. In that case it would be 9 5/8. I place the cheetah stick on the scale, 9 5/8. I put it in there and I look down to here and I see I have what I call a good 1/2 inch. That's about a 1/16 of a 1/2 inch thickness on the bottom of my bowl. So I didn't use the edge of this, I used the edge of the piece of plywood. So if you have a natural edge bowl, you can still use the same idea. Set your cheetah stick, whoops, so it's level. The edge of here, put it in here, and look down there, straight down. That's the thickness of the end of my bowl, about 1/2 inch. So whether I use this or whether I use this, I get the same answer as to the thickness of the bottom of my bowl. What a great idea. I really recommend that you go out and see Reed Gray, his website. He has some great videos, and I think this is the tool of the year. I challenge you to find a better one for a better price than this. And it solves a problem that we all have other tools that we use to do it, different ways that we measure it, but this is so simple. And I like simple and I like cheap. So here's a money saver for you in 2015. So find the bottom of the bowl accurately every time. And I hope you like this little video. I hope that you understood what I meant. It's not always easy to explain something like this, but it's pretty simple. And Reed has an excellent explanation of it too. So if you go out to Reed's site, you'll see his explanation of it as well. Thanks for coming to the shop. I have a couple more little videos planned. Requests from some of the people who subscribe to me. Thanks for subscribing. And I'll see you in the near future with a new video on something else. It'll be on a little tool or something. So we'll see you then. Bye now.